questions, or actually what I did was I posted a question of videos that you guys want me to record for YouTube. And a lot of these are more topics that I would just answer as a question. So I'm gonna turn those ones into a question and answer because it's too short to turn into a video. I could if I really wanted to milk it and do that, but I would rather just put your questions here. So I'm gonna ask some of these. Remineralizing toothpaste for your teeth. So you can restore the enamel on your teeth to some degree. I don't know if it can be completely restored if it's been really damaged, but I use Redmond Relight. I love Redmond Real Salt. Their salt contains over 80 trace minerals. So their toothpaste is a really great way to remineralize your teeth. Tyler and I love the peppermint charcoal toothpaste. So that is what we use, and that is what I would recommend. My discount code is tailored. Let's see, histamine intolerance. I have a video on this. It's called Histamine 101. Check it out. That would be really helpful. PCOS recommendation: eat in a way that lowers your insulin. So the root of PCOS is insulin resistance. Just address that and you're gonna see progress. I haven't heard of anyone who didn't improve significantly with their PCOS or completely by going keto or carnivore. So definitely address insulin resistance, remove processed foods, lower the carbohydrate and excess sugars, and definitely cut out seed oils. Let's see, carnivore desserts. Yeah, so there are a lot of desserts that have no sweeteners that I'm a fan of. You could do the brown butter bites, you could do the oopsie cake. Kelly Hogan made that famous. It's delicious. It's so good. Bella's egg pudding is really good. My lemon custard, you can make it without sweetener and it is so delicious. And then desserts with sweeteners. Oh, and then also I should just say whipped cream, like heavy cream, whip it up, is so decadent and so delicious. If you're not eating sweeteners regularly or sweet things, you're not eating carbs or sugar, these things will taste decadent and delicious. Now, if you are a fan of sweeteners, I do have a lot of recipes that are ketovore. I have carnivore cinnamon rolls, carnivore brownies, carnivore pumpkin pie. On my Instagram, I have carnivore carrot cake. I have carnivore ice cream. I have carnivore mousse. So definitely check those out. Most of those recipes are here on my YouTube and they're awesome. They really help with a lot of people during transition. My brownie recipe really helped my husband to transition to carnivore. Now, sweeteners can be a trigger for some people. Sometimes when it's a sweet tasting thing, it triggers you to go eat the real thing, the real Dunkenheim brownies. And so if you are that type of person where it triggers you, then don't touch it. Just don't get into it, but it can help a lot of people. So I hope you enjoy those. Lyme with carnivore. I have a video on detoxification and I would check that out. It pertains to anything that you have to detox from, and Lyme disease is one of those. I had chronic Lyme disease and I have worked with a lot of people with Lyme disease and have reversed it completely with labs to confirm without anything added. It's just food is medicine. Supporting your body at a systemic level, which will support your detoxification pathways, and your body can do incredible things. If that's not enough, if you've optimized your macros, your fat to protein ratio, you're sleeping through the night, things have improved, but you're still not detoxing, then you might consider using something like oregano oil. I have an oregano oil protocol for multiple different things: Candida, Lyme disease, SIBO, H. pylori, mold toxicity. It works for those, but the dosing is different from person to person. And so it's not just a straight recommendation, take oregano oil until it's gone. Don't do that, because if you take oregano oil for longer than typically 4 weeks, I would say 6 weeks max, but typically 4 weeks even, it's not good to do because it is nature's antibiotic. It sterilizes your gut. And so that is going to lower your immune system. You're not going to be able to fight things as much when you're wiping out your good and bad bacteria, or the bad and the good. So you're wiping it all out. So just be aware that you shouldn't take oregano oil for weeks and weeks on end. There is a technique to taking it and using it for detoxification purposes. Hair, skin, and nail health on carnivore. Yes. I mean, if you are eating plenty of enough animal protein for your body and enough animal fat, you should see all of those improve. If you have hair fallout, I think you need more protein and you should check out your thyroid. Your nails, there may be some type of vitamin deficiency. And so you might consider taking some liver or organs, which are multivitamins. Organs are the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. Liver is nature's multivitamin. And then your skin, know that if you have skin issues, it can take up to 6 months for those to clear up, or even longer depending on what it is. Psoriasis, eczema, I would highly recommend doing a no dairy approach to carnivore at first. I know that that's not as much fun, but I really think it's a huge element to healing your skin. Psoriasis, the dairy it's inflammatory by nature, and so even if you're getting raw dairy, it still elevates your insulin growth factor more than other foods, which will trigger inflammation. A lot of people get away and can tolerate butter and cream because they don't contain the proteins that cheeses do. And so I would just play around with cutting out dairy proteins, and then if you're still having issues and you're doing everything else right, then maybe cut out all the dairy and definitely emphasize those saturated fats. I would recommend suet. For anyone with skin issues, suet is the best fat that I could recommend. It makes you glow from the inside out. It will help detox for sure. And then tallow. So skincare, use tallow. I would cut out anything that is stripping the natural oils, called the acid mantle. Anything that's stripping that and breaking it down every day is not good for you. All you need is tallow and water, and it is the best thing for your skin. Seriously. Especially for those with skin issues. Parasites. If you have parasites and you go on this way of eating, they very often will come out on their own. I think a lot of people think they have parasites and they really don't. If you have parasites, you will know when you see them. You won't question it. And I would say over 20 people that I've worked with have told me in our second month together that they had parasites come out in their stool and they had no idea they had parasites. And that's just people I can think of, like off the top of my head, their actual names in the instance. It may be more than that. So a lot of times they can come out on their own. You may not have even known that you had them. Oregano oil can be something that can help those move along if they're stubborn, but I actually think they should usually come out on their own. If you're really starving them, then they will die and come out. Healing without ketosis, is it possible? Yeah, ketosis is a really great tool. And I think that going in and out of ketosis is still a really great tool as long as you're metabolically flexible and you can jump between glucose burning and fat burning without it being too stressful on the body. I think that's a great place to be. I don't think that you need to be in ketosis all the time to heal. Unless you're someone who's dealing with epilepsy, I don't really see a need to be floating in ketones. I think a lot of people are chasing ketones and they don't understand why. They think it's like the ultimate way to lose weight or the ultimate anti-inflammatory, but like you can induce autophagy without being in ketosis. You can induce autophagy by exercising. Ketosis definitely allows for more autophagy to take place, but it's not necessary. And so I believe that metabolic flexibility is the goal. Being in ketosis all the time is not. So this person was asking, can you heal without being in ketosis? Yes, I believe that you can. When you're giving your body all the nutrients that it needs, I believe that you can. I don't know if someone could heal without being metabolically flexible though. And part of being metabolically flexible is sometimes being in ketosis. So I hope that answers clearly enough. Basically, if you're not metabolically flexible, then you've got insulin resistance. And if you're insulin resistant, I don't know how much healing you can do. And so ketosis should be a part of it, but it's not the whole big picture is ketosis. A lot of healing happens out of ketosis as well, I believe. Sugar cravings during transition. This will happen to a lot of people when your bad bacteria are dying off because you're starving them. You're no longer eating sugar. You're no longer eating the junk that is feeding the bad gut bugs in your gut. And now they're starving and they're dying and they're getting angry and they are going to crave sugar. They're hungry. They are hangry. And so a lot of people will have dreams about chocolate cake. They'll have dreams about sugar when those gut bugs are dying off. So there is a direct gut-brain. It's a bi-directional communication system between your gut and your brain. And so just know whatever you're doing in your gut will very often translate to your brain or your mood. So if you're dreaming about sweets and you're craving sweets all the time, eat more fat. I would definitely say eat more fat because sugar, glucose is a fuel source and so is fat. And we're trying to train your body to take to and run on fat without it being a struggle. And so I would recommend eating, make brown butter bites. I think those are awesome. And eat fat right before bed, help you get a good night's sleep, but also just keep sending that signal to your body that fat is the new fuel source. And make sure you're getting plenty of electrolytes to also help with those cravings. And then if you're not eating enough protein, you're going to just crave food in general until you get enough protein. So you've got to be sure you're hitting, I would say, 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. And then last one here, how long to try carnivore before trying something new? I would give it at least 90 days. There was a time where I would say give it at least 30 days, and my honest answer is give it 90 days. If you're looking at the whole span of your life, 90 days is not that long. You can do it. Give it a shot. you got to give it a shot. And so I would give it 90 days. Yeah. And you may not see everything clear up that you wanted to resolve, but if you can see progress, undeniable progress, you know that you're doing something right. For me, I noticed huge improvements in my mood and energy in the first 2 weeks of Carnivore. Like, to the point where I was dreading getting out of bed at, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then within a couple of weeks, maybe 1 month, I was naturally getting out of bed at maybe 7 and I had decent energy. That is huge. That's undeniable progress. And my mood was a lot better. I felt like I had a backbone again. I was not constantly in fight-flight mode. Even as I continued to heal, it just was like, I'm doing something right. So I had to stick with it. I had to stay consistent. So look for the progress. Don't get hung up on the things that haven't changed yet, especially weight loss. I think a lot of people get upset with that. But focus on healing and the weight will work itself out. So yeah, those are some questions that you guys asked. I hope that it helps. And if you have more, leave them below.